Hello Zimbabwe, welcome to a weather update courtesy of the Met Department. We are currently monitoring Tropical Storm Freddy, which started off over the western parts of Australia about 5,000 miles away and has drifted into the Indian Ocean, intensified into a tropical cyclone. But when it made landfall over Madagascar a few days ago, it reduced in intensity and became a tropical storm. Currently, it's over the Mozambican Channel, and we're expecting it to drift westwards into the southern parts of Mozambique. But as it makes landfall, that is at 3 a.m. on Friday in the early hours of the morning, we're expecting the outbands, which stretch about 500 kilometers from the center of the actual eye of the storm. We're expecting those to be affecting the southeastern parts of the country as of this evening into the early hours of tomorrow morning, giving us considerable rains over areas such as Chipinge as well as Chimanimani into Chirezi district. And with that, it's coupled with a strong winds over much of this area where we're expecting about 40 knots. Our average is usually 20 knots, so we're expecting double the strength of the winds over these southern areas. And as we get into the rest of the weekend, we're expecting still considerable rains over the southeastern parts of the country, covering areas such as Beitbridge, Mwenezi, as well as Bikita into Zaka area, as well as Masvingo Rural. Because of this, we still urge the public to take precaution and also watch out for flash flooding and heavy downpours in some places. Because of this, we urge the public to stay indoors during this period and always be aware of the updates and always keep informed by following Heart and Soul together with the Met Department.
Thank you very much. We have received a watch from the Meteorological Services Department and a detailed report from the Zimbabwe National Water Authority yesterday when we met as the Emergency Services Subcommittee of the National Civil Protection Committee. It was only meant to reinforce what is already in the multi-hazard contingency plan, which we produced last year, and it was approved by Cabinet. And now that we are at the peak of the rainfall season, we continue to cherish the early warning system or systems that we have in this country, especially from the Meteorological Services Department and our Zimbabwe National Water Authority. Because we are dealing with a hydrometeorological hazard, we continue to rely on the two institutions in terms of all our operations, for they are torch bearers in as far as the rainfall season is concerned. I shall not dwell much on what the watch says, except to say we have activated our subnational structures, both decentralized and devolved, including our traditional leaders, and I am happy that people are continuously sending the message home. One of our most active members of the Standing Cabinet Committee on Environment, Disaster Prevention and Management, which is the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education, which looks after the welfare of our millions of children, which almost constitute a third of the population of Zimbabwe, has already taken the lead by sending a circular to all the schools which are likely to be affected in the provinces highlighted in the post-cabinet briefing yesterday. And these provinces include Manicaland, which is usual the pathway to most of the hydrometeorological hazards, southern parts of Masvingo, our Mat South, our Marsh East, our Mashonaland Central, and Harare Metropolitan Province. But this is not to say the other provinces must not prepare. They must always prepare. Remember, we are dealing with a natural phenomenon whose behavior can easily change. So, in as far as the information we got from Zinwa, it highlights the need for all downstream communities in most of the dams to be always on high alert and listen to information from various authorities. Let's not practice arrogant response. Let's take the messages seriously. Let's not cross flooded rivers. For the motorists, let's not cross flooded bridges. You will be really dicing with death. We don't encourage people to do that. This Cyclone Freddy is accompanied by some heavy rains and it's windy. So if you are to seek shelter, make sure you seek shelter in a house with some strong roof so that you are not also affected by the rains. I know in local authority areas, especially the urban, the need for local authorities to continuously clear the storm drains should always be done. And where possible, in all the provinces highlighted in the circular by the Secretary for Primary and Secondary Education, the measures have already been given by Cabinet that those schools will be closed. There is no way we can evacuate the parents and leave children to attend lessons. It's not possible. In this instance, safety takes precedence over everything, and we expect what Cabinet has said to be complied with as reinforced by these circulars we are all alluding to. I also need to take this opportunity for all our Zimbabweans to cooperate with the authorities as they try to mitigate against the effects of Cyclone Freddy. The issue is when we prepare, we are not trying to stop Cyclone Freddy from visiting Zimbabwe. No, it's not like that. We are only trying to lessen the burden on the various family members from handling the challenges associated with the Freddy on their own. So they must know that the government of Zimbabwe will never renege on its responsibility. It's there and its partners who are complementing its effort to save life, to save property, and make sure that we enjoy our lives until the day when God decides to determine.